Alex had always loved the quiet of his little colony on Ceres 7. Unlike the crowded cities back on Earth, here the sky stretched wide, painted with soft purples and blues, and the twin moons cast gentle light over the curved hills. His house was small but sturdy, built from metal alloys that glimmered faintly under the moon's glow. He lived alone now. His father, an engineer known across the colony, often traveled for work, leaving Alex to handle the home and small farm plots that grew nutrient-rich vegetables. Even though life was simple, Alex often felt a strange emptiness. Most nights he walked outside to the cliffs near the settlement and gazed at the stars, imagining the worlds beyond. He wondered if humans would ever truly understand the vast universe, or if there were beings out there who could teach them things that even the best scientists back on Earth could not imagine. One evening, as the twin moons rose over the horizon, casting pale light across the land, Alex was working in his small workshop. He was tuning a solar converter, a device his father had left for him before leaving on a months-long mission. The soft hum of the machine filled the room when suddenly a shadow crossed the doorway. Alex froze. He wasn't expecting anyone. "Who's there?" he called, his voice echoing in the quiet room. A soft, melodic voice answered. "Do not be afraid." Alex blinked and stepped back. There, standing just inside the doorway, was a young alien girl. She was small, about his age, with pale blue skin that shimmered slightly under the workshop lights. Her eyes were large, deep, and glowing faintly silver, reflecting the moons outside. Her hair floated around her in thin, silvery strands, almost as if it moved on its own. She was wearing a simple suit that looked like a cross between a robe and a jumpsuit, made of a material that shimmered and shifted color depending on the light. I'm not sure you should be here," Alex said cautiously. "Who are you?" "My name is Lyra," she said softly. "Your father's friend sent me." Alex frowned. His father had many friends, but only one alien who he trusted. Varen, the engineer from the star systems beyond the nebula belt, had visited them several times. He was strange, yes, but always kind and wise. "Varen sent you?" Alex asked, stepping closer, trying to understand. "But why, you? You can't just show up at my house." Lyra's eyes softened. "I had no choice. There are dangers coming, and I need your help. Your father trusts you." "I trust you," Alex hesitated. Everything about her was unlike anything he had seen before. Humans occasionally saw alien visitors on the colony, but none like her. She was graceful, intelligent, and fragile somehow, and yet there was a courage in her stance, a quiet determination that made Alex unsure if saying no was even an option. "Okay," he finally said, though his voice was uncertain. "You can stay for now, but you have to explain everything. And I need to know what dangers you mean." Lyra nodded and stepped fully into the room. "I will, but first I need to rest." The journey was long. Alex helped her settle near a small cot in the corner. She moved with careful precision, her body almost seeming to float rather than walk. After a few minutes, she closed her eyes, and Alex noticed the faint glow in her skin dim slightly, as if she was breathing in rhythm with some alien energy. Once she slept, Alex sat back and stared at the ceiling. Questions raced through his mind. Why had Varen sent her? What kind of danger could be coming, and why did he feel such a strange connection to her already, even though he barely knew her? The night passed quietly, though Alex barely slept. When dawn broke, spilling pale light over the hills, he found Lyra already awake, sitting cross-legged on the cot. Her silver eyes sparkled as she looked at him. "Good morning," she said simply. "Thank you for letting me stay." "You don't have to thank me yet," Alex said. "I still don't know why you're here exactly." Lyra smiled faintly. "I will explain everything. But first, you must understand that your world is important. Humans, though young in the galaxy, have qualities that many species do not. Courage, adaptability, creativity. These qualities may soon become very important." Alex frowned. "Important? To whom?" "What are you talking about?" Lyra's expression became serious. "There are factions in space who do not wish humans well. They do not understand your species. They see you as weak, simple, easy to control or destroy. But they are wrong. Humans are stronger than they appear. And I was sent to see if one human in particular, could make a difference." Alex's heart raced. Could she mean him? "Why me?" he asked, his voice barely more than a whisper. "Because your father knew you would act. He knew that you would not turn away from someone in need. And because you possess qualities that even humans themselves sometimes overlook. courage, kindness, and the ability to think differently. Alex swallowed hard. He wanted to doubt her, wanted to think this was some elaborate story. But the way she looked at him with trust and certainty made it impossible to do so. Over the next few days, Alex began teaching Lyra about human life, how to eat, how to speak comfortably with humans, even the basics of human tools. In return, Lyra shared glimpses of her world. She demonstrated small devices that could sense energy flows, showed how to move without leaving traces in the dirt, and told stories of stars and planets humans had never seen. Each day, Alex felt a mixture of wonder and nervousness. Lyra's knowledge was incredible, but her presence brought new risks. He could not ignore the feeling that someone or something might come looking for her, and yet he found himself drawn to her. Not in a romantic way. Not yet, but by curiosity, by a desire to understand her world. One evening, as they sat near the cliffs, Lyra pointed at the horizon, where the twin moons cast silver light across the hills. "Your world is beautiful," she said softly. "But it is small. So small compared to the galaxy beyond, and yet, you humans have something very rare." "And what's that?" Alex asked, leaning back on his hands. "Potential," Lyra said simply. "You can grow, adapt, and fight when needed. You are more capable than anyone realizes." Alex felt a strange pride swell inside him. He had never thought of himself as special. He was just a young man living on a small colony. But to her, he represented something important, something more than he had ever imagined. That night, as they returned home, a strange feeling lingered between them. It was quiet, subtle, but undeniable. The universe suddenly felt larger, more complex, and more exciting. Alex realized that his life was about to change forever, and that he was not alone in facing the unknown. As he lay in bed that night, listening to the faint hum of his solar converters, Alex thought about the journey ahead. Lyra was no ordinary visitor. She carried knowledge, trust, and perhaps even destiny. And for the first time, he understood that courage sometimes meant opening your home and your life to the unknown. Outside, the moons glimmered, and somewhere in the dark reaches of space, forces were moving. Forces that did not yet know that a human and a young alien girl were about to change everything. And in that quiet, peaceful moment, Alex felt both fear and excitement. He did not know what would come next, but he knew one thing for certain: his life would never be the same. The days passed slowly, yet each day felt filled with something new. Alex and Lyra had begun a routine, one that was unusual, exciting, and sometimes frightening. Every morning, Alex would teach her small but essential things about human life. He showed her how to prepare meals using the colony's hydro farms, how to navigate the local terrain, and even how to interact with neighbors, though sparingly. Humans were curious, sometimes suspicious, and Alex did not want Lyra to draw unnecessary attention. Lyra, in turn, shared secrets from her world, tiny, magical-seeming pieces of technology that were almost impossible for Alex to understand. One evening, she demonstrated a small device that could read energy flows in living beings. She waved it over a plant and it glowed, showing the movement of nutrients. Alex was amazed. How is this possible?" he asked, staring at the delicate blue lines moving through the plant. Lyra smiled. "We study the energy of life. It is everywhere. Every planet, every creature, every object has a pattern. Humans have something similar, but it is small, and most do not notice it yet." Alex felt both awe and envy. He had always dreamed of exploring the stars, yet he had never imagined learning something so strange and beautiful in his own backyard. Their bond grew naturally. Alex noticed Lyra's curiosity, her joy in learning, and her gentle humor. She had a way of looking at the world that made him see ordinary things in extraordinary ways. A simple rock could be fascinating if examined through her perspective. A stream of water could feel like a river of life. In return, Alex showed her humor, creativity, and resilience. Things she said reminded her of the best qualities humans possessed. One afternoon, they decided to explore a valley beyond the settlement, a place where the twin moons' light reflected off a crystal river. Lyra moved gracefully, almost as if she were floating over the uneven terrain. Alex followed, trying not to stumble. As they walked, Lyra spoke quietly. "Your world is beautiful," she said, her silver eyes reflecting the sunlight. "But it is fragile. I can sense tensions in the energy here. Small conflicts, hidden fears. Humans often do not realize what is happening beneath the surface. Alex frowned. Do you mean in the colony? Lyra shook her head. Not exactly. In the galaxy, forces are moving that will touch your world soon. Some are friendly, some are not. That is why I was sent. Alex felt a chill. He had hoped their days would be simple, filled with learning and exploration. But Lyra's words reminded him that danger was closer than he wanted to admit. Still, he trusted her. And that trust was growing stronger every day. When they reached the river, Lyra knelt and touched the water with her hands. The surface shimmered and tiny ripples of energy danced in the air. See? She whispered. Even water carries information. You humans have begun to notice sometimes, but there is so much more to understand. Alex knelt beside her.
I feel like I'm learning more in a week with you than I have in my whole life, he said honestly. Lyra's eyes sparkled with amusement.
And I am learning from you. Humans have something rare, imagination. You solve problems in ways others cannot. That is why I was sent to you. Your kind may be young, but you can make choices that matter. For a moment, the valley was quiet, filled only with the sounds of the flowing river and the wind through the crystal formations. Alex realized he was no longer just a boy living in a small colony. He was part of something bigger, something that stretched across stars and planets, and Lyra was a guide into that vast, mysterious universe. The next few nights were different. Lyra taught Alex about stealth and observation. Using her techniques, they could move across the hills without being noticed, watch the skies for unusual ships, and sense disturbances in the energy around them. It was thrilling. Alex discovered a side of himself he had never known, sharp, alert, ready to act. Yet it was also dangerous. One night, while they practiced observing from a high cliff, Lyra's ears twitched. Her body stiffened and she whispered, "Something is coming." Alex's heart raced. What is it? I'm not sure, Lyra replied, her silver eyes narrowing. But it is not friendly. The next moment, a small scouting drone, unlike any human technology, hovered in the distance. Its sensors glowed red, scanning the terrain. Alex's mind raced. He knew the colony's defenses would never spot it until it was too late. Stay low, Lyra instructed, her voice steady despite the tension. We will move through the shadows. Watch my signals. Alex followed her exactly. Together they moved along the cliffs, using the terrain to hide their presence. Lyra's knowledge of alien movement techniques was remarkable. She seemed to know exactly where the drone's sensors would sweep, and Alex's human intuition complemented her precision. By the time they reached the safety of the trees near the colony edge, Alex was breathless and exhilarated. We made it, he whispered. Lyra smiled faintly. This is only the beginning. I needed to show you that threats are real, but also that you can face them. Humans are clever in ways many species underestimate. Alex looked at her amazed. She was right. He had always thought of himself as ordinary, but here he was, part of something extraordinary, facing challenges he had never imagined. The following days were filled with learning, practice, and cautious observation. Alex taught Lyra how humans build, repair, and improvise. She marveled at his skill with tools, the way he could create simple machines with almost no materials. In turn, Lyra shared advanced techniques for sensing danger, predicting movements, and even understanding emotions in ways that transcended language. Through it all, their friendship deepened. Alex found himself opening up about his fears, dreams, and frustrations. Lyra listened patiently, offering insights that were often more profound than any human advice he had received. And he realized with quiet amazement that he was beginning to care for her, not in a way he fully understood, but with a sense of protection and respect that grew stronger every day. One evening, as they sat near the cliffs again, Lyra spoke quietly. Your people will soon face challenges you do not yet understand, but you have strengths that will surprise even you. I was sent to prepare you not just for danger, but to see that humans can change the universe in ways others cannot. Alex nodded, staring at the horizon. He felt a mixture of pride and fear. The universe was larger, stranger, and more dangerous than he had ever imagined. But he was not alone. He had Lyra, and together perhaps they could face whatever came next. As the twin moons rose high in the sky, Alex felt a sense of connection to the stars he had never felt before. They were no longer distant points of light. They were places of possibility, of challenge, and of destiny. And he realized that his life, and perhaps the fate of many, was about to change forever. That night, as he returned to his home with Lyra, Alex knew that whatever came next, he would not face it alone. And for the first time in his life, he felt ready to embrace the unknown, with courage, curiosity, and a new understanding of what humans could achieve. The nights on Ceres 7 had grown tense. Alex and Lyra had spent countless hours learning, exploring, and preparing, but now a shadow of danger loomed closer than ever. It started with faint signs, unusual energy fluctuations, strange lights on the horizon, and the occasional hum of advanced machinery moving too fast for humans to notice. One evening, as Alex checked the solar converters outside his home, Lyra's eyes twitched. "Something is near," she said quietly, her voice barely above a whisper. Alex froze. "What do you mean? Another drone?" Lyra shook her head. "Bigger. Not a machine this time. They are scouts sent to find me and possibly to harm you as well." Alex's heart pounded. He had suspected danger, but hearing it so close made it real. "What do we do?" he asked. "We prepare," Lyra replied, "and stay alert. I will guide you." That night they moved through the hills surrounding the colony. Lyra's movements were silent, almost floating over the rocky terrain. Alex followed as carefully as he could, his muscles tense and senses sharp. The air was cold and still, broken only by the distant howls of native wildlife. Suddenly, red lights flashed across a nearby ridge. Alex recognized them as sensors, alien in design, scanning the area. "We've been spotted," he whispered. Lyra shook her head. "Not yet. They sense, but they do not see. Follow me exactly." They ducked behind rocks, using shadows and uneven ground to stay hidden. Alex's mind raced. He had never felt so alive and terrified at the same time. Every step could mean discovery. Every sound could alert the scouts. After tense minutes, they reached a small cave that Lyra had found during her earlier explorations. "Here," she said, "we can observe without being seen." Inside, the cave was dark and damp. The faint glow from Lyra's skin lit their surroundings just enough to see. Outside, the scouts moved methodically, searching the hills with strange hovering devices. "They are looking for me," Lyra whispered. "If they find me, the information I carry will be lost. If Alex is harmed, the colony could be vulnerable. We must act carefully." Alex's mind spun. He was just a human, without advanced technology, without alien skills. But Lyra had taught him much, enough to improvise. "What can we do?" he asked. Lyra smiled faintly. "Use your human mind. You can be clever in ways they do not expect." The scouts moved closer. Alex noticed their patterns. The sweep of their sensors, the way they paused, the brief moments when shadows passed unnoticed. He whispered instructions to Lyra. "When I distract the left sensor, you move to the right. Then we circle around. Quick, precise, and quiet." Lyra nodded. Together they moved, timing each step perfectly. Alex's heart raced as he crept forward, sending a small stone rolling near a sensor. The scout turned and they slipped past. Every movement required perfect timing, perfect calm. Once clear, they ran to the cliffs overlooking the colony. From here, they could see the full scope of the threat. Several scouts patrolled and a larger vessel hovered beyond, its lights scanning for any sign of life. The rogue faction had arrived and their presence was undeniable. Alex felt fear like never before, but also a strange surge of determination. "We have to warn the colony," he said. Lyra nodded. "Yes, but quietly. We cannot let them see us. Follow my lead." Using their combined knowledge, Alex's understanding of human structures and Lyra's alien perception, they devised a plan. Alex would create a small diversion near the outer fields, while Lyra would move closer to the central colony structures to send an alert to his father's contacts. The execution required nerves of steel. Alex moved silently, tossing rocks to create small noises while shadows and shapes guided the scouts' attention away. Lyra, moving like a shadow herself, sent pulses of energy through hidden communication nodes, alerting allies who could respond. The scouts became confused, their systems misreading the situation. A brief chaos erupted among them, giving Alex and Lyra the window they needed. Alex sprinted back to the colony, signaling the humans to take precautions. Alarms were subtle but effective, warning workers and neighbors without drawing too much attention from the rogue faction. During the night, Alex saw the strength of humans in ways Lyra admired. Simple barricades, Clever traps using rocks and energy fields and quick thinking allowed the colony to avoid a direct confrontation. It was human ingenuity, rough, unpolished, but unpredictable, that saved them. After hours of tension, the scouts retreated, scanning one last time before leaving the area. Alex collapsed on the ground, exhausted, his heart still racing. Lyra knelt beside him, her silver eyes calm and steady. "You were amazing," she said softly. "You're thinking. It saved us. I underestimated humans. You see possibilities even when the odds are against you." Alex managed a tired smile. "I had a good teacher. You taught me how to see what's unseen." They sat together watching the stars. The danger had passed for now, but the universe was full of uncertainties. Alex realized something important. Courage was not the absence of fear, but the choice to act despite it. And together, he and Lyra could face challenges far beyond what either had imagined. In the following days, the colony strengthened its defenses. Alex worked tirelessly, using both human and alien techniques. Lyra guided him, offering insights that no human could have discovered alone. Their teamwork grew stronger, their bond deeper. During quiet moments, Alex sometimes wondered about his father. Varen had sent Lyra for a reason, and Alex now understood why. He was not just protecting her. He was learning what it meant to be a human in a vast, unpredictable galaxy. Humans were underestimated, yes, but they had courage, creativity, and the ability to act when it mattered most. One evening, as they walked along the cliffs after another long day, Lyra spoke softly. "You see now, Alex, humans can change the course of events. Even in the smallest colony, the choices you make, they ripple outward. The universe notices," Alex nodded. "I never realized. I thought humans were small, weak, unimportant. But I see now that we can make a difference. Even me," Lyra smiled faintly. "Even you. That is why I was sent, and why I trust you." A quiet understanding passed between them, unspoken but powerful. They were not just teacher and student, human and alien. They were partners, allies facing a universe that could be as beautiful as it was dangerous. As the moons rose high in the sky, Alex felt a surge of confidence he had never known. The galaxy was vast, full of threats, wonders, and mysteries, but he was ready. He would not stand aside. He would face the challenges ahead, protect Lyra, and show that humans were capable of far more than anyone imagined. And for the first time, he understood what his father and Varen had known all along. Humans might be young in the galaxy, but when they acted with courage, intelligence, and heart, they could change everything. The night was quiet, but Alex knew this was only the beginning. Bigger dangers, bigger challenges, and greater adventures lay ahead. And he was ready because for the first time he was not alone. He had Lyra, and together they would face whatever the universe sent their way. The morning sun rose over Ceres 7, casting soft golden light across the colony. After the recent attack, the settlement was alive with activity. Humans moved with purpose, repairing equipment, strengthening defenses, and sharing news. The danger from the rogue alien scouts had passed, but the threat they represented still lingered in everyone's minds. Alex walked beside Lyra, feeling the weight of responsibility settle on his shoulders. He had spent nights awake, thinking about what had happened, planning for the future, and wondering what his father would say if he were there. But now, with Lyra by his side, he felt a mixture of determination, pride, and curiosity. "We need to talk to Varen," Lyra said softly. Her silver eyes reflected the sunlight as she looked at him. "He has answers you deserve to hear," Alex nodded. He had been waiting for this moment. Everything, the danger, the learning, the connection he had formed with Lyra, led to this. "Let's go then," he said. They made their way to a hidden docking station where a small, sleek vessel awaited. Varen was already inside, waiting. He was taller than any human, with greenish-blue skin and eyes that seemed to hold the knowledge of centuries. His presence commanded respect, yet there was warmth in his gaze. "You've done well," Varen said, his voice deep but kind. "Lyra tells me everything went according to plan." Alex felt a mix of pride and humility. "We managed. But why me? Why did you send her?" Varen gestured for them to sit. "Alex, humans are underestimated in the galaxy. Many believe you are weak, simple, or incapable of leadership, but I have seen your kind closely. You possess qualities that are rare: courage, creativity, adaptability, and above all, a strong sense of heart. That is why I sent Lyra to you. She carries knowledge crucial to the safety of both our worlds, and I knew only a human like you could help protect it. Alex listened, feeling a mix of disbelief and pride. But me, I'm just one person. How can I make such a difference? Varen's eyes softened. One person can make all the difference. Humans have a way of acting unpredictably yet wisely. Lyra needed guidance, protection, and a human perspective. You provided all three. That is why you matter. Lyra stepped forward, her voice gentle. Alex, I have learned much from you. Your courage, your thinking, your heart. These qualities saved the colony. You showed me that humans are not just capable but remarkable. That is why I trust you completely. Alex felt a warmth in his chest he had never known. It was not just pride, it was connection, understanding, and purpose. For the first time, he realized that humans, even one human, could be powerful not through strength alone, but through intelligence, heart, and courage. Varen continued. There is more you must understand. Lyra is being trained as a diplomat for her species. She will travel across the galaxy, working to build alliances and maintain peace. Your actions have not only protected her, but have also strengthened the bond between humans and our world. This is the beginning of something much larger than either of you can imagine. Alex sat back, absorbing the words. His life had changed entirely in a few short days. A mysterious alien girl appeared at his doorstep. Danger came in the night, and now he was part of something that stretched across stars. He realized that his quiet life on Ceres 7 was just the start of a far greater journey. What happens now? He asked. Lyra smiled faintly. Now we continue learning, growing, and preparing. The galaxy is vast and there are challenges ahead, but we will face them together. I will remain here for a time, helping the colony and learning more about humans, and you will see how far your courage can take you. Alex nodded, feeling a new determination rise within him. I will do whatever it takes. I'll protect the colony, help you, and do my best to be worthy of this trust. Varen's gaze was steady. That is all anyone can ask. Humans often underestimate themselves, but when they act with heart, nothing is impossible. The days that followed were filled with rebuilding, preparation, and training. Alex and Lyra worked together to strengthen the colony's defenses, teaching humans to think in new ways and showing them techniques that combined human ingenuity with alien knowledge. Lyra learned even more about humans, their creativity, humor, and resilience. Alex realized that she was not just a guide or ally, but a friend who had changed his understanding of the universe. One evening, as the twin moons rose over the hills, Alex and Lyra stood on a cliff overlooking the colony. The night air was cool, carrying the scent of crystal blossoms that grew only on Ceres 7. Do you ever miss your home? Alex asked. Lyra looked at the horizon. Sometimes. But I have learned that home is not just a place, it is people, connections, and purpose. And now, I have found a new kind of home here with you and the humans. Together we can protect it and grow. Alex smiled. I never thought life could be like this. Dangerous, yes, but exciting, meaningful, and full of possibilities. I used to feel small, like I didn't matter, but now I see that humans can do incredible things. Lyra nodded. You've proven it. And that is why I trust you, Alex. Your courage, your heart, and your choices have shown me that humans are not to be underestimated. As they stood together, looking at the stars, Alex felt a deep sense of purpose. The galaxy was wide and full of wonders, and he had a role in shaping it. Humans, he realized, were not just survivors. They could be leaders, protectors, and changers of fate. And with Lyra by his side, he felt ready to face whatever the universe would throw at them next. The night was calm, but it carried a promise: more challenges, more discoveries, and more chances to show what humans could achieve. Alex knew that life would never be ordinary again. He had seen the future, faced danger, and learned that courage, intelligence, and heart were the most powerful tools any being could possess. Varen had sent Lyra for a reason. And together, Alex and Lyra had proven that humans could rise to meet the galaxy's challenges. It was not just a lesson for Alex, it was a message for all who doubted humans. They were capable, resourceful, and full of potential. As the twin moons glimmered above, Alex felt hope, pride, and excitement. The universe was vast, unpredictable, and dangerous, but it was also full of opportunities, and he was ready. With Lyra by his side, he would face the unknown, protect the colony, and show that humans, no matter how small they seemed, could shine brighter than any star. And in that quiet moment, As the wind whispered through the hills and the stars reflected in their eyes, Alex understood the greatest truth of all, that courage, heart, and friendship could change the course of destiny, and that humans had only just begun to show their true power in the galaxy. The night held no fear, only possibilities, and Alex, once an ordinary boy on a quiet colony, was ready to step into the extraordinary.